The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Vrechthal of the Khazar Dominion rose from his seat, his 4 eyes blazing with indignation. His species, apex predators from a death world even more hostile than Earth, had never shown deference to anyone. Yet today he was about to make an unprecedented request. "I stand before this council," Vrechthal began, his voice a deep rumble that resonated through the crystalline walls, "to ask something my ancestors would have considered madness. I ask that my offspring be placed under human protection." A wave of shocked murmurs rippled through the assembly. The Khazar were hunters, their claws capable of rending through starship hull plating, their venom potent enough to drop a Terran elephant in seconds. They had fought humanity to a standstill in the border wars, earning grudging respect from both sides. And now their ambassador was asking humans to guard their young? Dr. Sarah Chen, Earth's representative, stood slowly. She had been expecting tension today, but not this.
"Ambassador Vrechthal, we're honored, but I must ask why."
The Khazar's mandibles clicked in what passed for a grim smile. 3 cycles ago, the Devourers attacked our colony on Kresh Prime. You know them, the swarm that consumes everything in its path, that shows no mercy, no hesitation. They broke through our defenses and reached the nursery where our hatchlings were kept. He paused, his claws gripping the podium. We thought all was lost. Then your survey ship, the UNSS Horizon, detected our distress call. Captain Rodriguez didn't hesitate. He diverted course, knowing he was bringing his crew of 37 into a battle against millions. The holographic display activated, showing footage from the battle. The Horizon, a modest exploration vessel never meant for combat, descended through a sky darkened by Devourer drones. Plasma fire lit up the atmosphere as the ship's point defense systems worked overtime. Captain Rodriguez, Vrechthal continued, ordered his crew to evacuate our hatchlings first. Not our warriors, not our leaders, our young. When Ensign Maria Santos reached the nursery, she had a choice. The Horizon could carry either the hatchlings or the human crew back to orbit. The Devourers were minutes away. The chamber was absolutely still now. Every delegate leaned forward. She chose the hatchlings. All 43 of them. The entire human crew stayed behind, holding the line with nothing but small arms and determination. Vrechthal's voice cracked with emotion rarely displayed by his species. For 7 hours they fought. Specialist James Cooper died shielding 3 hatchlings with his own body. Lieutenant Yuki Tanaka detonated a grenade in a corridor filled with Devourers, knowing she couldn't survive the blast but buying precious minutes. Captain Rodriguez was the last to fall, still firing even as the venom coursed through his veins. Sarah felt tears streaming down her face. She had read the report, but hearing it from Vrechthal made it unbearably real. "Our reinforcements arrived to find every human dead," the ambassador said quietly, "and every single hatchling alive. The humans had arranged them in the most defensible position, had used their own bodies as shields, had fought with a ferocity that even we Khazar respect. And when we examined the battlefield, we found something that changed everything we thought we knew about humanity." The hologram shifted to show Captain Rodriguez's final moments, captured by his helmet camera. Surrounded by Devourers bleeding from a dozen wounds, he was singing a lullaby. The translator identified it as "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star." The hatchlings, huddled behind a makeshift barricade of equipment and human bodies, had stopped crying. They were listening to him. "He died singing to our children," Vrechthal said, "trying to comfort them in their terror. Not his children. Ours. The offspring of a species that had killed his friends in the border wars just 5 years prior." The Khazar ambassador turned to face the entire council. "Since that day, I have studied humanity. I have learned about their orphanages, their adoption agencies, their willingness to care for abandoned young of any species. I have watched human tourists on Station Zeta 9 comfort a Threxian child who lost its parent, stay with it for hours until family arrived. I have seen human soldiers share their rations with starving alien children on war-torn worlds, even when they themselves were hungry." He gestured to Sarah. "The humans have a saying, it takes a village to raise a child, but they don't specify whose child. To humanity, apparently, all children are worth protecting, worth dying for. This is not weakness, this is their greatest strength. They are pack-bonding predators who have extended their protective instincts to encompass the entire galaxy." Vrechthal's claws retracted, a sign of vulnerability rarely shown by his kind. "The Devourer fleet is returning. Our intelligence suggests they will target our nursery world specifically. Knowing we Khazar will fight harder to protect them, we'll divert resources from strategic positions. It's a sound military strategy, one we would use ourselves. He looked directly at Sarah. But we have learned something the Devourers have not. When you threaten children, any children in the presence of humans, you have not identified a weakness to exploit. You have awakened something far more terrifying than any apex predator. You have awakened human protective instinct. The ambassador bowed, a gesture no Khazar had ever made to another species. We ask that human guardians be stationed at our nursery worlds, not because we are weak, but because we have finally understood what makes humans truly dangerous. They don't just fight for survival or territory or resources. They fight for every child they see as theirs, and they see every child as theirs. Sarah stood, her voice steady despite her emotions. Ambassador Vrekthal, on behalf of humanity, we accept. Your young will be protected as if they were our own, because to us they are. As the council voted unanimously to approve the unprecedented arrangement, Sarah thought of Captain Rodriguez and his crew. They had taught the galaxy something profound. Humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology or tactics. It was their unshakable belief that every child, no matter what species, deserved someone willing to sing them lullabies in the dark. Even if it was the last thing they ever did.